her now, even if she doesn't have any plan now, any premeditated plan to seek the presidency, because I don't want to be shocked. Even if there is a 2% chance that in future she will change, rather a 2% chance that she's likely to be a threat, I need to neutralize that threat. I think Museveni, the gorilla, would think like that. So it became increasingly imperative for Museveni that this lady's wings should be clipped. Now, Anita Mong had done one big mistake, either deliberately or innocently. She had given Museveni a rope to hang her, and had written this in April 2024. Her ostentatious living, her luxury mansions, her expensive cars and dresses, all those things tended to alienate her in the eyes of the Ugandan public. Ugandan public did not like her. And there were exhibitions of
Parliament.
Corruption. Not parliamentary exhibition of the Agatha Twaires, no. I'm saying she exhibited a lot of wealth and affluence and luxury. But that not only revolted many elite Ugandans against her, but it also gave Museveni a rope with which to hang her. So at any one time, I felt she was vulnerable. At one time, I thought maybe Museveni may keep her because she was so vulnerable. He knew he can anytime call upon her financial indiscretions to get even with her. Now, of course, human beings as we are made, we are always driven by the personal. People are, I do not think that Anita Mong's problem was corruption, because remember that Anita Mong did not take money out of Parliament necessarily for her personal use. That was a small side effect. Anita Mong's use of parliamentary money was actually to build Museveni's political base. In fact, to get Museveni's legislation in the Parliament passed. Because I am reliably informed that before Anita Mong became Speaker of Parliament, whenever Museveni needed major legislation to go through Parliament, a major action to take place, he would invite these Omaras, these MPs, to State House, give them tea, pay their transport, pay their medical bills, pay their children's fees, clear their loans, spend a lot of money in order to get the vote. When Anita came in, she said, okay, Museveni, you don't have to do that. Let me handle Parliament for you. You see, the strength of Anita Mong, people don't know, is she has excellent interpersonal skills. That is why she's so effective in electoral colleges. And she may not be effective in a presidential campaign where you are elected by anonymous people. Why she was effective in electoral colleges? Because if you meet her and deal with her at a personal level, she's a very generous people think she was using money, but Mong was using 20 to 25% of the money Museveni was using to get 300% of the results Museveni was getting. Museveni was spending a lot of money and getting, like in this election on Olanya. Olanya got 55% of the vote as speaker. But for her, she would use less money and get bigger results. So she would get more for less, or from less. So again, that was another signal to Museveni that this is a ferocious political animal. I have friends that tell, I think that of all the politicians Uganda has produced in the last 40 years of Museveni, I would put her among the top 5. Museveni being number 1 without a doubt, but I would put her among the top 5 because she had the skill to win over people by sheer force of her personality more than her money. Because money cannot be effective if you are rude to people. And so she knew how to. I have a young friend, he was the mayor of Hoima. He was telling me the other day, he lost an election, and this election, somebody defeated him. But she picked the phone and called him and said, I am to empathize or sympathize with him. People who reach out to people like that in such a moment when you have lost an election, the whole speaker, powerful, she's calling a small mayor in mayor, rather than Hoima. I don't know how many people she called and won. That can win you more money than any millions of shillings. And rather can win you more support, more attraction than any money you can spend. So she knew how to touch people and make them feel connected to her. And that political strength is what threatened, terrified Museveni.
But when you look at everything that has happened, what's the intended end in mind?
So I told you that there is a convergence. I told you there is a convergence of two different but compatible pursuits. Museveni's pursuit of removing a potential rival. Remember, I'm not using the word rival because she was not his rival. A potential rival out of the political ring. And General Muhoozi's pursuit of sending a signal that, please, when you are in a public office, do not abuse public funds and do not exhibit ostentatious living.
What's the relationship between NRM and PLU?
PLU is an ally of the NRM. PLU is a pressure group or a political movement that emerged from very many Ugandans who want to see a transition in the country and who believe in the leadership of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. So it is a movement that was born out of support for an individual rather than an ideology, and it is because people think that he has exhibited a high sense of public spiritedness. You've never had him involved in business deals. You've never had him live ostentatiously. He wears simple clothes. He leads by example. He was, when he went as CDF to UPDF, he has cleaned up the Ministry of Defense of corruption. He has projects that had failed for decades. He has, in just 2 years now, he's finishing a UPDF headquarters, finishing the UPDF hospital. He's done so many. They're beginning to build barracks because UPDF soldiers have been living in Mama Ingia Pole, you know, these grass thatched huts. Now they're beginning to build serious barracks for them. So Ugandans know that this is a very serious person who insists on performance management and accountability for results. You see, last time I was here, I told you guys the government of Uganda has a system of accountability based on procedures. Yet you need accountability for results, and Muhoozi is result-oriented. So within NRM, there is a large constituency of people who want to see improvement in the quality of governance, improvement in the effectiveness and efficiency of the state at delivering public goods and services, and they see that in Muhoozi, and that is how PLU was born.
We'll come back to that, especially some things you've said about the general there. We've been joined by the Honorable Norbert Mao. Thank you very much for coming. I introduced you.
But I should say, my grandson, Norbert Mao, came late. Now, this shows that you did not learn the lessons me as your grandfather taught you. So you are supposed to pay a fine of 2 million shillings only. And I am the one.
No, now we deal with dollars.
And the Honorable, let me come to Honorable Mara.
Yeah.
Honorable, you're a member of the NRM.
Yeah.
You've been a member of the 11th Parliament. You're now a member of the 12th Parliament. Why should Ugandans trust you?
Trusting me as a person?
You as an institution.
As an institution. Let me start like this, that a day in politics is almost like 100 years. And what has happened in a few days has taken us by surprise. But let me say this, that we are all human beings and capable of making mistakes as individuals. But the institution of Parliament, in terms of doing our, especially for 11th Parliament where I've been, doing our roles of appropriation, doing our role of oversight, of making approvals, of legislation. I think we've been able to pass some incredible legislation.
The quantity is there, but the quality is the
quality. Like for example, the UPDF Amendment Act, which was thrown away by the Supreme Court. We took it in and we really did a fantastic job. It is a law in place at the moment. The law